dear friends, I'll be talking about Education 4.0. And if it's a new term for some of you, basically, we are trying to uh, move in pace or trying to move education ecosystem in pace with the industrialization. And as you all might be knowing, that presently Industry 4.0 is going on. That is the fourth generation or fourth industrial revolution. And this slide will give you a better idea and a clear picture of the various revolutions which have happened in the mankind, and we all have all have gone through this. That is Industry 1.0, where the mechanical production, water and steam engine was developed, and there was a sea change in the industrial setups, like setting up of small industry, use of this one. Then came in the 19th century, that is the second industrial revolution, where the mass production, setting up of total assembly lines, and electrical energy was there. So it was being used for the industrial purpose. So that was again a major uh, ve- revolution, that we call it, so as such, that major revolution in terms of the production, in terms of the process, in terms of the economy, so because of the industrial revolution. And then was in 20th century the industrial revolution, where the role of internet, role of computers, role of VLSI, right, miniaturization, and semiconductors, transistors, all these, mainly computer and internet, the the entire world and the global economy was affected because of this Industry 3.0. And presently in the 21st century, now we are having Industry 4.0, where it is totally based on like cyber physical systems, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence. And we all know again the further the improvement in the communication, may it be through satellite, may it be through mobile communication and internet, use of internet or facilities of internet, and supercomputing powers, and miniaturization of devices, energy related systems. Also, all these are the part of Industry 4.0, right? And we are looking forward to Industry 5.0 also. So basically it is that, as we were discussing, as Dr. Harsh also was discussing in the last session, that we have to, when we are talking about like bridging the academic and industry gap, we have to bridge that gap, and that can be that when industry and academia walk hand in hand, even not even hand in hand, at least they should walk in pace, so that industry requirement can be satisfied by the academics, and what academy is teaching, what academia is producing, not only teaching, it is producing as engineers, right, as technical support, as a staff whatsoever. So they are relevant, or their knowledge or their experience or their skill is relevant to what is the industry requirement. So it is very important that we should know what is happening at the industrial end, and try to incorporate the changes in our education system based on, because at the end of the day the final product of our education system is a person, is a skillful person who is employable in the industry, right? So when industry is the input for our output, so obviously our output should be ready to act as input to the industry. So that is why I'll be talking today about the Education 4.0, that what changes should be brought in our education system or in our curriculum, so that we can make our students employable, we can make our students skillful, and we can make our students in parallel to the requirements of the industry, right? So again, industry 4.0, how it has moved and how it has changed. I won't go into the details of the uh, in the fourth industrial revolution. See, okay, this is just a interesting data that a study has been done, and by it has been uh, on records that by 2025, 10% of the people wearing clothes and reading glasses will be connected to the internet. So now we are having a mobile device through which we are connected to the internet, and we are getting each and every information, or we are directly connected to the entire knowledge database, right, or information database. But in the present coming times, even the reading glasses, anybody who is wearing the glasses will be directly connected to the internet through the glasses itself. So you won't require a separate device, but the you will have, or the person can be even wearing the glass, or a chip might be there, or even the clothes may be the devices which will connect you directly to the internet. And there will be 1 trillion sensors connected to the internet. There is one forecast, a time will come when even the air particles which are in the air, in just the particles, they will also be acting as the sensors. The miniaturization of the devices, right, the energy requirement, the efficiency, all will converge to such a small scale that even the sensors will be in the form of the small particles, not centimeters or millimeters, but micrometers, right? Okay, so again, so first the robotic pharmacist, 3D printed cars. We have already started 3D printing of some devices are already there, but now 3D printing, we are like in knitter also, we are doing the 3D printing for animals, like for some canines of some animals, or bones, or some knees, like teeth has been replicated. So various techniques are coming for the 3D printing, and they are forecasting, or that there will be 3D printed car also in production. And then driverless cars already on the roads, but number of those cars will increase. Number of smartphones, population using the smartphones will be more than 90%, right? Okay, this is so transplant of 3D printed liver, robotic surgery, that is in biomedical also, in medicine also, the penetration of the technology and engineering into of 3D printing into the medical sciences also. So now you see, if we are saying that this will be the scenario, some of the scenarios in the entire globe, it means ours. And who will do that? The engineers. And who is producing the engineers? The technical institutes. So it means what should be they taught so that they are able to perform all these activities. So that is, we have to redefine, or we have to modify our curriculum, or we have to amend our curriculum so as to bring out the engineers, bring out the students which have this set of skill, or this set of information. So now again, as I was saying, that assessment drives the learning. It is now, because supply and demand product is simple. So if demand is this, supply has to move in this direction. We cannot say कि demand driverless car की है और हमें भी डीजल इंजन डीजल कार की ही बात करे जा रहे हैं, right? So that is why we need to move in this direction. Okay, so because, okay, I won't go into the impact. Let me come to. Okay, so now again we are talking again and again, that is the relationship between industry and education. So as I mentioned that in industry, when it was industry 1.0, first industry revolution, which was based on the steam and water engines, then our students had the knowledge, or it was the our education system was totally teacher centric, and only the students were the passive recipients. The education was only to give the information or to give the knowledge, because know-how of the things was not available to the students, right? So that type, so at during that time education was totally teacher centric. So when Industrial 2.0 came, and it was seen that further industrialization requires proper communication, proper knowledge application, right? Because if machine is there, how it has to be powered, or how the electricity was used. So in that case, the scenario or the education 2.0 also realized, and it came from it shifted from just getting the information to learning, to memorizing, or to gathering the knowledge. So the curriculum or the style of teaching or the style of delivering changed as per the requirement what was required at the industry. So then when third industrial revolution, then we started with the student centric. The teacher was serving as the facilitator, as the coordinator, as a guide, and the student was again start moving from the knowledge or the memory to the application part also, or to the understanding part, not the application as much but the understanding part and application of the information. But now when we are moving, or we are in the industrial 4.0 revolution time, now we have to change from that the teacher is there to facilitate and as a guide, but also the teacher has to be an educator, and the student has to move in the direction of self learning, personal learning, what I want to learn, what I want to achieve, how I want to move it. And if one teacher is not present, how the other teacher is available, how I can get out of the teacher as much as possible. So collaborative, networking, flexible, creative approach. So see, all these words when we are talking about in education 4.0, they are, if you can relate it, can you relate it with NEP 2020, what we have been talking for the entire 5 days? Yes or no? Are we doing
Yes,
that
ma'am.
right now? So if you see, so that is everything which we are talking about in NEP, and what is expected. If now, because we have been talking so much, you can just foresee that what will be the role of the teacher in the coming times, how the teacher has to change their way of teaching, or their how to sustain. Actually there, this will be a challenge in the coming times, that how a teacher has to sustain in the system. Gone are the days when teacher will be, okay, okay, we have completed our MTech or PhD, and now we are going to teach one this subject, check few copies, answer sheets, make the result, and that is over. No, you have to change, you have to upskill, you have to reskill yourself. What we have learned, because technology is changing so fast, and the requirement, again, demand supply, demand is so exhaustive that you have to change yourself, right? Otherwise you will be left behind, and there will be of no use of whatsoever MTech or PhD you have done, right? Because again, industry related to education, education related to industry, and again industry related to economy. So when industry drives the economy, our education system also drives the economy, right? So that is why the NEP is again talking about entrepreneurship. NEP is again talking about self learning. That is why put MOOC courses, right? When we are saying that curriculum should, UGC has mentioned or given the flexibility that even 20% of the total credits can be taken by the MOOC. So that is, the student should know. It means you are giving the responsibility to the student, that you should know what is good for yourself, what you want to learn. And you do not need a stick always on your back of a teacher or of a parent. Okay, read this, study this, take this exam. No. Student should be responsible, should be mature, should be intelligent, that this subject, I have a list of 20 MOOCs, and which subject I want to study. And I don't require a force behind me. I can study in the morning, I can study at my pace, I can study in the evening, take the exam, get the credits, and move on and decide my own trajectory of learning. And that will come only when we inculcate these type of qualities in our students in the very beginning. That is lifelong learning. You don't require a teacher and a class now. You have a net, you have the facility, you can learn it. And that is why we are giving focusing upon the MOOCs. And don't worry, टीचर की नौकरी फिर भी कहीं नहीं जाने वाली है in any case. So because it is properly putting the students into the shoes or into a framework which will make him grow, which will make him be more productive, and he will match to the requirement of the industry. Now you yourself see somebody from civil engineering or somebody from mechanical, any faculty from civil, mechanical, or apart from electronics and computer science, anyone? No one. All are from electronics and computer science or electrical, mechanical, right? So now you tell me, sir, or physics, how many or what proportion of the curriculum you are involving the students for IT based programs? There may be a C or C++ program or one or two simple IT related subjects, but right, only 5%. But how these students are getting placed, what is the proportion of the placement of the students in the IT companies? If you have 100 students, how many students? 80, like Dr. Sandeep says, or it is like 80 to 75%. It means the proportion of the curriculum related to the IT or computers or programming skills is only 5%, and whereas the placement of the student related to the IT is 80%. So it means what you are giving, the student is adding on to that by himself. He is learning those programming skills by himself. He is learning those, whether it is Python or Java or what is the requirement of the industry or the requirement of the IT. He is learning by himself. He is not taking support of any teacher. He is not taking support of any mentorship, but he knows that because I want a job, I have to do this, I have to learn. So that attitude has to be inculcated in the student. We always talk about three things: knowledge, skill, and attitude. Knowledge we are giving, teachers are responsible. Skill also at some proportion we are responsible, or and we are helping them, but the attitude we are not helping them, and this is the NEP is going to play major role for this attitude, that the student should have attitude to learn. It's not that attendance is required for 100%. I need attendance, 5 marks for attendance, for 90% attendance, so I have to go in the class whether I'm attentive or not. But if he has the attitude that I have to learn, I will go. In my when I used to take class for my MTech or BTech, especially for the elective subject, I never used to take attendance. जिसने आना है, समझना है, पढ़ना है, आए. नहीं आना है, I don't bother, right? And the student, if they have the attitude कि मुझे ये subject class लगा के I will get the placement, or in future it will help me, he will come. So that attitude, learning by himself, learning, that is required from our side, and that is actually required from the, or NEB is focusing upon this, right? So education revolution is like, you know, again moving, I would say that it has to encourage the development of more personalized way of learning, where the students independence and unique approach to study. And that unique approach, the same story, I don't want to repeat it again. What should be the unique approach to study for the student at every level, right? So education 4.0 is nothing but a name, a terminology given to align the education ecosystem with the industrial revolution. जब 5.0 आएगा, we will talk in terms of education 5.0, because we have to change the curriculum. We have to change the approach of learning. We have to change how to utilize the technology, right? And in the nutshell, for what? Producing an output, producing a student, an engineer, which will help in, or which will go and work in industry 4.0, right? So we have to move in a direction to adapt the new realities. As I told in the beginning, that our students, if we want them to use the internet, we want them to go for entrepreneur capabilities should be there, or they should be so analytical to design, to think creatively, to design with something new. It means we should also move in such a direction. So the degrees should be customizable. This is the next thing which is coming out in next 5 years. Abhi we are going for BSc or BTech computer science. Scheme is defined, curriculum is defined, subjects are defined, only 2 3 electives we are giving. Go and get it. But now when we say, when NEP will be fully implemented, it will be totally customizable. I want computer science major, but I want minor in psychology, and some subjects I want to learn of law, some subjects I want to learn of fashion. It is my customizable degree which I can customize as per my requirement. I want to go for, as I said, okay, I want to go for again architecture. So I want major in architecture and say minor in civil, and some course of few credits of interior design, few credits of say uh, house decoration, or any, right? So every student will have that flexibility of coming up or choosing their own path of getting which degree. And nowadays, like one or two institutes, they've already started. They do not, like Ashoka University, I know that is in Sonipat, my hometown. So there they have the just degree of liberal sciences. So what you want to or liberal arts, what you want to study, which subject you want to study, how many credits you define by your own, right? So that is the time to come where we will be talking about the customizable degrees, right? And that is again because NEP is going to move in this direction only. I won't go into this. Yeah, this is just a gist of how the education is changing or has changed, and where should we move towards to. Just go through this. Just go through. It is a very interesting one and gives a crux that education one. What was the role of teacher? Knowledge source, guide, leader, and collaboration. And now he will be a support system by AI based learning portal, right? Content delivery was traditional, blackboard. Education 2 was okay, some open sources. Now, then education 3, you have some courses, open sources, and now it will be integrated with again AI or adaptive learning. Learning process was assignment, test, only summative. Then we moved to some project learning, project based learning, or explain this assignments, right? Then in education 3.0, again you have open learning activities, but now we have to move in the direction of adaptive learning or experiential learning or project based, giving small mini projects, micro projects in every, in the coming times. The every in curriculum, every subject or every practical lab should have a micro or a mini project, because basically we have to impart them this skill. It's not the knowledge of okay, C++ programming. No, design a program. No, only communication devices ऐसे काम करते हैं. No, do some small project on machine learning, AI based, so that hands on practice is given. Okay, so student was mainly passive. Then into he was active profile. Then ownership of own education plans, and now, as I said, it will come to the customized degrees, adaptive, right? E-learning, web driven. So all these are changes which we are seeing, which have been seeing, and how now we can have the idea that what is going to happen in the future times. So now just see what is the common point in all these parameters in education 4.0. Anyone? Anything you find common, or which is in all these six parameters, something common you can find out? Yeah, Milind sir. Dr. Vivek.
Ma'am, one thing is that inclusion of e-resources and continuation of learning, I feel.
Okay, okay, yes, fine. So one thing is this. Another, anything else? Dr. Sandeep. Our Sweetie G is not there.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Yeah. So can you see that in every parameter, artificial intelligence is play is there? Teacher, AI based learning; content delivery, AI based learning; learning process, adaptive learning by AI, right? Organizations, AI driven higher educations; students, AI co-develop education; means AI applications. So it means we are moving in a era where the artificial intelligence is going to play a major role, and we have already started, right? You see that every institute, every, like in Himachal also right now, when I waited, we had deputy director or director of HP technical education. They have started BTech in AI and machine learning. Haryana has even started diploma in artificial intelligence and machine learning, right? Similarly, Delhi is already doing that, and BTech in AI and ML or AI and data science is already there, because we can foresee that how important the artificial intelligence is going to be in future times, and how it is going to drive our not only education system but also our society. Every sphere your AI is going to affect, right? So it is high time. So it means when we say it is going to affect, it means our curriculum should include the subjects which would lead to the knowledge and application of AI. So if you see, abhi tak we were doing an elective parts, but now as elective also, program elective, but also as the core subject contents also, we should put machine learning or artificial intelligence as a core subject in all of the engineering technical courses. The application may be different, but the background, the information, the technology of machine learning and AI should be given to all the students, right? जैसे IT का time आया था, so everybody was given the computer knowledge, IT based knowledge, in every course, every, even at the school level it was mandatory. Similarly, the AI should also be now made mandatory in every course. So if you are in the process of designing the curriculum, please ensure that there is some course related to the uh, foundation of artificial intelligence or machine learning or so, right? Okay. So apart from this AI, there are other also, uh, you know, uh, main components of industry for 4.0. When we are talking about artificial intelligence, so we have to see the other things also, like so much of data is there, everything is digitized. Now in this industrial 4.0, one more thing is there, that is digitalization. See, there is a difference between digitization and digitalization. Digitization was you are just converting the analog information into digital information. Whether it was communication was converted from analog to digital, right? The information is converted into analog to digital mode of communication. That was digitization. Digitalization is now use of digitized information or digitized services in everything, right? So for that, because every information is now digital, banking you are doing in the digital form, right? Insurance, shopping, everything, anything you think of, everything is through the digital now. So when so much of data is there, whether it is related to education, whether it is related to society, it means we all know that that data, we are using the facility of the cloud to store that data, to process that data, right? Again, to for retrieving, we cannot. So the importance of those cyber physical systems and cloud is going to play a very important role. So when we'll
Um,
talk, yes, yes, sir,
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am.
yeah,
Ma'am, as you gave example of banking sector, will it be an example of digitization or digitalization? Because it is for the first time.
digitalization.
Digitalization. Okay, okay, ma'am. It's for the
So
first time that my concept is being cleared, ma'am. Thank you so much.
नहीं, यहाँ पे था एक वो मेरे पास स्लाइड, बट मैंने कहा फिर आई विल मूव इन द डिफरेंट डायरेक्शन.
Ji, thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. So like, so you have the cloud. When we will talk about the cloud, so means cloud computing is to be there. When we have large data, it means how to use that data. Big data is there. When data is so open source, then cloud security is there, cyber security is there. So all these subjects or the topics are interrelated, and the best part is they are not specified to a particular domain. पहले होता था ओके, दिस इज टू बी लर्न ओनली बाय कंप्यूटर साइंस. नो, now the banking person also need to know about the cloud computing or the cyber security, right? The mechanical person also need to know about the robotics and artificial intelligence. The civil person should also know about artificial intelligence and the security or the augmented reality. We are also moving in the direction of augmented reality and virtual reality. Right now we sit at, like, for shopping, we do what we do, open Amazon and we click, we check the, okay, what type of clothes, shoes, how they are looking, how they're. Now it will be like, you can be inside the store, or you can wear, like best example is your lens card, right? That is one of the example. So you can click your face and you can put those goggles and you can see that how I will be looking. That is small part. Otherwise the days will come when you can go inside the, virtually you can go inside the say Amazon showroom and check thing in the 3D way, check it, and then you want to choose it, you can select it. Or you are there, you want to see how this cloth is going, shirt is, will it fit me or not, virtually you can put it and check how it is looking, what is the fit, save it. So all these things are going to come in the near future. So that is why we have to move in the direction or modify or change or put or align our curriculum as per these requirements, right? So because time, like industry 4.4.a does not talk only about now internet of things. Abhi tak we are just moving in the direction of internet of things, coming up with the sensors and studying those smart sensors. But now it also has internet of things, internet of data, internet of people, internet of services. And just visualize or just try to analyze, we are already into this domain. We have internet of things, all our mobile is connected, we have now even the lights are connected with our mobile, and we can switch on switch off the light. We have home automated home services, right? Internet of data is already there. Internet of people is already there. The social networking is nothing but internet of people. Internet of services is also there, whether it is banking, insurance, or like we have now Uber, Ola, Airbnb, all these are internet of services, right? We are already into the system, but we are not putting the it into our education system, right? So in this I will not go in detail. So internet of things, industrial internet of things, internet of services on demand, right? Then internet of data, cyber physical system, data management, big data. So these are the pillars of industry 4.0, and so these should be the part of our curriculum. In the beginning you can put it as electives, but some subjects should be put in core, and depending upon which stream it is, if it is computer science and IT, they are the part of your core programs. If electronics, some of them can be core. But even in maths, in mathematics also, you can put it in the, like additive manufacturing or simulation, right? In mechanical, autonomous robots, or, so these are like all these subjects which we are talking about are independent of the domain. So anywhere, any place you can put it. Augmented, their application can be domain specific, but the basic knowledge, the information, that is totally domain independent, which can be learned by any person, right? So as I said, big data analytics, autonomous robots, we are talking so much about drone systems or robots. So drone, if you see, you want a mechanical engineer also. So some contents, it can be kept in the mechanical engineering. It is obviously the electronics part, the devices, the computer programming, right? Sensors are there. It is related to the cloud, so IoT can be there. So you see, again, independence of the domain, and it can be put anywhere. Automation, so mechanical people are there, right? So anywhere. So big data, autonomous robots, simulation, then vertical and horizontal system of integration. The management people can put it there, how to go for the data integration, how to combine or cohesively combine all these informations, how to manage that. Industrial IoT, cyber security, and again the cloud. And when cloud comes, information sharing, networking, cloud computing, cyber security, or cloud अब तो fog processing वो सब भी है, augmented reality. So basically, it is four great convergence have to be taken care of when we are talking about education 4.0. That is the physical and the virtual, first of all, convergence. That is the virtual reality or the augmented reality, which first usually earlier we used to have the physical part. Now we have to incorporate the virtual part also. Similarly, as example, face to face teaching or blackboard teaching has to now pave way to MOOC courses or the online courses, right? Currency is going for cryptocurrency. So basically, one convergence of physical and virtual. Another convergence is your artificial intelligence and human intelligence. So artificial intelligence is nothing but imbibing the human intelligence into the machines. That is creating the machines which are capable of taking the decision or assessing the situations or data whatsoever as human intelligence. So convergence has to be there by designing the machines which can think, which can take the data, which can process the data, which can take the decision as or act as the person or a human being who has the intelligence can act. So hybrid intelligence, deep learning intelligence, this is another part of convergence. Then you have human and machine, and that is why we are talking about earlier used to talk about human to human interaction. Then we came with the machine to machine interaction, automation, right? Industry 2.0, that was automation, was machine to machine. And now we are moving into the direction of human machine interaction, right? So there we will have the wearable devices which will be able to communicate. Even a human body will be uh, you know a machine itself, in a way that it will be able to communicate with any other person. Or so so many things I can talk about anyway. So human to machine, again the convergence of human beings and machine to come up with one thing. And then genetic engineering and synthetic biology, moving these all were technical parts of the machine and all. And now one convergence where we are moving in the direction of the DNA, RNA, and this all genetic engineering is also being to along, or we are working upon the convergence of the synthetic biology or the genetic engineering. So these are four great convergence which are the you can foresee, forecast in the coming times. And that is the reason that we are, and they are not only separate convergence, but all in all also they will converge together in the coming times. So that is why we always are, or we are looking forward to designing the curriculums or upskilling ourselves, our students, in such a way that they can walk in pace with the changes of the technology in the coming times. So need of the hour is, don't talk only about the curriculum, but talk about how to make the students skillful, give them some small projects, right? And then upgrade as per the latest technology, some articles, blogs, so much information is there. This, because our students are so much spending so much time in the social platforms, social networking platforms, they can be used constructively also. It's not only using the Facebook and Twitter to just see what are others doing or checking the reels. There is so much of information available on LinkedIn, right, or Twitter, or read the articles that update our students. Even if you want to make them, I to suggest that give them an article from the LinkedIn or from the Twitter, read it and come and discuss it as a case study, राइट. तो जो वो टाइम सोशल नेटवर्क पे वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, या दे आर सो मच ऑन टू दैट, सो उसका कंस्ट्रक्टिव यूज भी हम कर सकते हैं. Come on, get that information from there and let us discuss. Put a blog, let the comments come. Put a idea of some project, और कहीं प्रोजेक्ट है उसके अंदर अपना आइडिया डालो, डिस्कशन फोरम हो. तो जो बच्चों का मोबाइल से ग्लू रहने का टाइम है, उसको कंस्ट्रक्टिवली वी कैन use it, right? And then some of the things which are like generic should be made generic to everyone. चाहे वो कोई प्रोग्रामिंग हो, लाइक पाइथन है, इट इज इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ डोमेन, right? Data science hai, Java hai, warehousing, some of them are the domain knowledge. So like some topics which are independent of the domain, they should be taught to the students to upgrade themselves. And then we have to look into, as a teachers, we have to look that how to make students converge to all these things, right? अगर करिकुलम होगा, कई बार सिर्फ वो डंडा हो जाता है कि ठीक है करना है, पास करना है. We have to make it more interesting, we have to make it more creative, and we have to make it more attractive, so that students develop that attitude to learn it by their own will, rather than by, okay, we need to have a degree, our parents have sent them us here, we are spending so much money, so on, right? So with this I would like to summarize that we have to bridge this physical digital world. Okay, this is for the industry 4.0. So some challenges are there, some threats are there, and but we have to find out some opportunities out of this industry 4.0. Okay, so thank you for all, thank you to all, and I am open to any questions which you people might be having.